All right, we're gonna do a video analysis here on Daniel. Let's take Daniel into his leg lift. Rides that back hip. Fires forward. Really good progress right here. So let's take it from the top. Let's break it down. So right here in the leg lift, getting out of that glove right away. A little early, I will say, but it's better than too late, because when it's too late, your arm definitely drags, right? So what we have here is good lower body-wise leg lift, and we're sinking into that back leg right away. What I want to see right here is if you can try and point this hip a little bit more instead of dropping and then going forward, because what you're seeing here is you're getting up to that balance point, your highest peak, and then you'll see that you load and then start to go forward, right? And then you're getting in a really low position here and kind of leaning forward. Maybe not, maybe it's just the angle. So you're not leaning forward that bad. But what I'm seeing here is you're getting a balance point and then you're dropping and then driving. What I'd rather see is you get up to this point, and I know you're on flat ground, you'll notice this more on a mound because of gravity, but when you get up to this top point right here, the peak of your leg lift, if your hip is pointing forward, you're gonna naturally start to fall towards home plate. And then as you get in that loaded position, which you're doing a really nice job of back here, then you're just primed and ready to really explode through it. Okay, what I'm also liking lower body-wise is you're loading this back leg, and this front leg is staying closed a lot more than in previous videos. And then when you get into this position here, you're still closed, and we're throwing this forward to rotate your hips forward. Definitely can tell you've been doing the medicine ball exercises. And once we're in this position where our hips are loaded and ready to explode, we're up in a strong throwing position, right? So now you can really see as you're coming together, as these hips come forward and rotate, you could see that back arm start to rotate back. See how it's a sequence? That's where you want to be. We're trying to create energy through the ground. So you're seeing that your back leg is firmly in the ground, right? You're pushing against the ground to produce energy through your body. So as you go down the mound and launch yourself forward, there's a lot of chain reactions going off, right? So your hips are opening and your arm is getting cocked back into the throwing position, right? And as you're coming forward into front foot strike right here, good firm plant, we're in a position where we can really launch our torso forward. And then I really like how low you're getting, right? Good extension there on the front end. And then coming over coming over that front leg very nicely. You could see how you're stable right here and your trunk launches. See how we go here to here, it launches over and that back leg follows through. You're falling off to the side a little bit. That's totally fine. It's normal as long as you're not completely falling off. Tells me you're producing a lot of force with that back leg, which is good. As you get stronger through the program in your front leg, you're going to be able to stabilize that even better. Okay, so you get here and release. I also like when you release, it's in front of your front toe, right? You're releasing here. What happens to a lot of guys is they release even with their front foot because they're more upright. They're not as much in this position. So that looks really good, Dan. The big thing I'm noticing, and this is just gonna take some reps as well, could be a pretty easy fix, is that front side, that glove side, you're not utilizing the leverage as much as you should, right? So I really like how leg comes up, hand comes out, right? We get here, highest leg point, we reach down in the bucket. That looks good, right? Now, when we get in this position here, your elbow's pointing down. I want your elbow up and pointing to your target like you're looking down a scope. Looking down a scope at your target. right? And then once you go forward, this glove, as you can see, it's kind of closed here. You're kind of looking down the scope a little bit, a little late, but you're kind of looking down it. I want this glove to reach out, and then you're gonna pull it in and tuck as you come through. I could send you some video examples if you want, but if you go back and look at the videos that I've sent you about the throwing drills, you can instantly see my front side, how it differs from that. What that's gonna do is it's gonna create more leverage through your upper body when your hips are coming through, right? So we get in a position here where our hips are coming through, and as we're pulling our glove into our body and our hips are working the opposite direction, that's gonna create torque and more energy to travel up through the baseball, okay? And that's a big reason why we train with the weighted ball in our glove hand, because it helps anchor it to our body, close to our center of mass. So that's just something to be aware of as you throw, as you do the drills. Again, I could send you more resources on it if you need it, but if you take a look at the throwing drills and the arm path drills, you'll see in those videos I'm performing them how I'd like to see it. Otherwise, looks really good, man. I mean, we definitely got to continue to work on the mobility, right? We got to keep this front leg closed a little longer if possible. Again, I think you'll stay a little bit more closed on a mound because there's more momentum. But I mean, you're opening up like right there. Some of your earlier videos, you were opening up a little bit over here. So that's great progress for sure. Just want you to clean up that front side. Looks like your head is in a good position as well, right on target. And then when we get in this position here, I'm interested in your mobility within your back, right? And I know we do some T-spine stuff. If we can get you here to just be a little bit more flexible in the midsection through the mobility work, I think that's going to give you even more velocity, even more control in the tank. But you can even see, just to jump back to that front side, when you're releasing the ball here, your front side is tailing off over there, right? It's almost a non-factor. It's just kind of, your glove is just kind of existing, right? When you could be using your glove for leverage, where you could be here and pulling in and catapulting your torso forward, all right? Not a crazy fix. It will make a big difference, but when I say not a crazy fix, that means it's actually pretty easy to fix relative to some of the other things you could be having to fix. And honestly, dude, like, you've made a lot of good progress in your mechanics in a short amount of time. I know you've really been getting after it, so it's really great to see. I'm excited to see your results if you maintain this path, and I think you will. Like, even right here, this throwing position is awesome, right? You're fired that back hip, right? You're entering front foot strike. Your hips are opening up, and you're right around that 90 degrees that we talk about in the arm path drills. Again, we just got to get this front side a little bit cleaner, a little bit stronger, and it's going to make a big difference. You'll see exactly what I mean once you really utilize that. But this is an awesome position to be in. Keep up the good work, man. I mean, this is proof right here that if you put in the work, it's all right there for you. And I'm really excited to see where you're going to take this. Let me know if you have any questions.